Good day everyone, welcome back to True Celebrity Stories. It's great to meet again. In this video, we'll be talking about Sinead O'Connor, her career, the pains and struggles she's been through. But first, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Sinead O'Connor rose to prominence in the 1990s with a powerful voice and a major single, Nothing Compares to You, as well as a fair share of controversy. Sinead O'Connor began her musical career in Ireland when a local drummer discovered her, with celebrity status, though came scandals for her. During a 1992 appearance on Saturday Night Live, O'Connor tore up a portrait of the Pope, among other things, and has more recently been renowned for using social media to communicate her personal mental health issues. O'Connor, who was born on December 8, 1966 in Dublin, Ireland, had a strict upbringing. Her parents divorced when she was young, and her mother was frequently abusive. After being caught shoplifting, she was sent to a reform school. Her singing career began when the drummer of the famed Irish band Into Anua found her and co-wrote their hit song Take My Hand. O'Connor ran away from school and moved to Dublin, where she sang and played the guitar on the streets and in pubs and worked for a singing telegram business. While performing with the Dublin band called Tan Tan Makut, O'Connor caught the attention of the two owner-managers of a small London record label called Ensign Records. Ensign released her debut album, The Lion and the Cobra, late in 1987. Critics lauded O'Connor's powerful and expressive voice and noted the complexity of her songs, even while acknowledging their decidedly uncommercial nature. Though it had no central hit singles, the album eventually sold over 500,000 copies and went platinum. With the release of her second album, I Do Not Want What I Don't Have, in 1990, O'Connor established herself as an international sensation. The album shot to the top of the Billboard charts. It earned O'Connor 4 Grammy Award nominations, including Best Album, Best Song, Best Female Vocalist, and Best Alternative Album, thanks to the phenomenal success of the smash hit single Nothing Compares to You, a once obscure song written by Prince and first recorded by a band called The Family. The video for Nothing Compares to You received an MTV Award for Video of the Year, and Rolling Stone named O'Connor Artist of the Year in 1991. Am I Not Your Girl, 1992, and Universal Mother, 1994. Her subsequent 2 albums had a much smaller critical and commercial impact. O'Connor, on the other hand, quickly became known for her aggressive public outbursts, beginning in 1989 when she declared her sympathy for the violent Irish Republican Army, a declaration she eventually regretted 1 year later. She made headlines once more in 1990 when she refused to perform in New Jersey unless the Star-Spangled Banner was played beforehand. O'Connor boycotted the Grammy Awards in 1991, refusing to accept her prize for Best Alternative Album, claiming that her absence was a protest against the Grammy Awards' overwhelming commercialism. A 1992 appearance on Saturday Night Live by O'Connor, in which she tore up a photograph of Pope John Paul II and denounced the Catholic Church as the actual enemy, drew even more attention. Despite her disdain for the clergy and her efforts to draw attention to reports of child abuse inside the church, O'Connor claimed to be a devoted Catholic and spiritual. It isn't the man, it's the office and the symbol of the institution that he represents. They are, in my opinion, responsible for the destruction of entire races of people, as well as the subsequent presence of domestic and child violence in every country into which they have ventured, the singer claimed in a 1992 interview with Time magazine. O'Connor's recording career stalled in the late 1990s, except for the release of her single Gospel Oak in 1997, which was overshadowed by the singer's problems. In 1995, O'Connor and her ex-lover, Irish writer John Waters, began a lengthy custody battle for their young daughter, Roisin. O'Connor's attempted suicide in March 1999, plagued by Waters' vehement assertions that she was an unfit mother. O'Connor agreed to let Roisin live with Waters in Dublin while she recovered. She grabbed the kid from the Waters' house and flew her back to London a few days later. O'Connor has a son, Jake, with her first husband, John Reynolds, in addition to Roisin. O'Connor made headlines in a very different way less than a month later. She was ordained as the first ever priestess of the Latin Tridentine Church in April 1999, a dissident Catholic group led by Michael Cox, a self-styled Roman Catholic bishop from Ireland. Mother Bernadette Marie, O'Connor's clerical name, was appointed to Archdeacon in April 2000 to work with the homeless in Dublin. O'Connor signed with Atlantic Records in 2000. Faith and Courage, her first album in 6 years, was released later that year. The following year, her personal life grabbed headlines. O'Connor married British journalist Nick Summerland in a secret ceremony in 2001 after a whirlwind courtship, but the marriage did not last, and the couple soon divorced. In 2002, she released Sean Nos Nua, an album of traditional Irish music. In 2003, O'Connor announced her retirement from music. She who dwells in the most high secret place shall abide under the almighty shadow, 2003, was supposed to be her final album. O'Connor, according to People magazine, put the following note on her website: "Believe it or not, I am a pretty timid person. So with love, I ask that individuals who care about my records leave me alone and in peace." Around this time, she gave birth to her third child, Shane, with Irish trad musician Donal Lunny. O'Connor did not stay away from music for long. Thrown Down Your Arms, and a reggae-influenced album, was published in 2005. With 2007's Theology, O'Connor continued to make new music and expanded her family. That same year, she gave birth to her fourth child, Yeshua Bonadillo. Frank Bonadillo is Yeshua's father. In 2010, O'Connor attempted to rekindle his marriage. She married Steve Cooney, a friend and longtime collaborator, but the marriage didn't endure. The following spring, the couple called it quits. O'Connor married for the fourth time in December 2011, undeterred in her pursuit of happily ever after. She married Barry Herridge in Las Vegas, but she later stated that the marriage was annulled only after 18 days. Despite her rocky personal life, O'Connor's 2012 album, How About I Be Me and You Be You, received positive reviews. Her third album, I'm Not Bossy, I'm the Boss, 2014, was likewise well appreciated. Late in 2015, O'Connor went through a mental health crisis. She sent 2 comments on her Facebook page indicating that she was suicidal before her family requested that the page be taken down. Following her first Facebook post, O'Connor was reportedly hospitalized. O'Connor went missing for a day while riding in Chicago in May 2016, only to be located shortly after by officials. She then made another Facebook post about her issues, this time launching a vicious assault on her family, blaming them for her mental health crisis. Sinead O'Connor has stated that her late mother Marie was so evil as a child that she stripped her naked and kicked her in the remote regions regularly in an attempt to harm her reproductive functions. In her new book, Rememberings, and an interview with The Guardian, the Nothing Compares to You performer and mother of 4 makes the discoveries. When Sinead was only 8 years old, her father moved out of the family home, and her mother drove her and her siblings into the garden hut and locked them outside of the house. The 54-year-old remembers her terror. "I knelt on the ground in front of the gable wall and wailed up to the landing window to get her to let us into the house when it got dark," she recalls. "That is when I officially lost my mind and became afraid of the size of the sky. That's why I'm agoraphobic. I find it difficult being outside. I don't mind when it turns into black night, but once the hours of dusk come, I get very anxious." Her father, a structural engineer turned barrister, became just the second man in Ireland to be given custody of his children and a champion for the right to divorce shortly after her parents divorced. She recalls her physical and sexual abuse at the hands of her mother in her book, Rememberings, in which she refused to print a picture of her mother, including the time she forced O'Connor to strip naked, lie on the floor and her arms and legs split open, and so on. She then repeatedly smacked her in the private parts. Her mother, she believes, intended to destroy her reproductive organs. She was obsessed with the idea of me being a guy. She had no desire for females. Sinead claims that her mother coerced her into thievery as a child. They would put money in charity boxes and Marie would steal all of it, sometimes up to 200 pounds per night. My mother was a serial thief. She would go to houses that were for sale solely to steal the crap out of them. She would grab money from the collection plate at church. My father was very well off. When my mother died, we were living like she had no money, with no heat, no electricity, no hot water. The bitch dies and there's 250 grand in the bank. O'Connor claims she never intended to steal, but she soon discovered she, like her mother, was addicted to it. I too became a kleptomaniac. When I was 13 or 14, my father took me on vacation with the other kids, and I stole a rug from the hotel room. I'd steal something to steal it. She holds her mother responsible for most of her upheaval as a child. I believe she was a wicked person. She, on the other hand, does not believe it was her fault. When I look at images of her before she married, she was a joyous, sparkling, happy young woman, and I get the impression that she was possessed by something. The devil possessed her. She adds, "One evening, some friends of my mother's called around, and she gave them dog food on toast and told them it was pate. Because Sinead topped the charts in 1990 with her cover of Prince's Nothing Compares to You. In her words, I made 10 million quid on the second album. I do not want what I haven't got. I probably should have made more. I gave half of it away. Why? A priest told me that when I grew up and got a job, I should repay the money I stole. Soon as I got the money, I distributed it to other charities and individuals. She has recovered from mental treatment and is now a practicing Muslim. I've spent the majority of my time in the nut house. She reflects, I've been virtually living there for 6 years. We, the sufferers, get to name it the nut house. We've made it to the end of this video, so what do you think? Has O'Connor genuinely healed from the trauma of her upbringing and her emotional scars? Please let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications now. If you'll excuse me, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.